The simp economy is moving overseas. So I've talked about this phenomenon where men are walking away from Western society and relationships with Western society, but even the simps, they're taking their money overseas. Filipinas, women in Thailand, women in other countries, they are competing for that simp economy. One of my favorite channels on YouTube is actually it's called the Poi Roti Lady, and here she is singing, on stream. So she actually has a food cart where she makes roti, and she got very popular where YouTubers would go and they would film her making roti, and she started her own YouTube channel, and she gets banked. She makes like $3,000 to $5,000 a day just from donations here on YouTube. This is a video right now where she's singing. She starts doing this sometimes. Today she's taking the day off, but even then, now she's streaming at home, and she has a beautiful voice. She's learned English rapidly, and this is a woman who has at least three kids that we've seen so far, if I recall, three kids, and she looks this amazing. She's in Thailand. So she's here singing her heart out. I cannot play the video. I can't play it because, unfortunately, because of the way the YouTube copyright system works, I've done it before and they're like, nope, you can't, I'm not going to allow it. So I can actually just show you her singing, and she's absolutely gorgeous. And the thing is, like, Sims feel like they are developing a genuine relationship with her. Some Sims even fly to Thailand to go and see her and speak to her. And she's getting that bread, and she's getting more bread than bread than the women here in Western society who are on their foodie calls and trying to open up an OF. Over in these countries, only fools is not even allowed. So Sims are dropping bread on these women that they are not even dropping on Twitch. All right, Pokemon has nothing on this woman right here. I'm telling y'all right now. And this is and the Filipinas are going hard. The Filipinas are fighting hard for that simp economy. They're not playing around. The Filipinos are like, that's our money right there, okay? That's our money right there. Those are our simps right there. We're taking everything, okay? I mean, guys, even the Filipina P, who I like the Filipina P, but she started getting bad recently, trying to say things like, Japanese women, they don't love you like the Filipinas do. Korean, South Korean women, they don't really want you like that over there. The Philippines, though, that's where you can survive. That's where you can thrive. Go where you are appreciated. Go where you are celebrated. Like they're really trying to lock down Western men right now. They're really trying to lock these men down. All right. You have channels from these women in other countries where they're like, washing outside in a bucket. Of course, they're wearing clothing, but sometimes just minimally, and they're basically putting on a show for the Sims. So these women they look much more fit, feminine, friendly compared to the typical woman in in Western society who is like, doesn't even want to get out of bed, to go and make only fools content. It's only fools is basically a welfare platform at this point. So I just wanted to kind of warn you about this. I wanted to show you this. The simp economy is moving overseas. There's so many of these channels right now, so many of these channels, and it's not just women who are doing these provocative types of things. Like I showed you, like the Poi Tai Roti lady. She's just doing she's just making content like this, and it's absolutely mind blowing. Then you have one of my favorites, Yukachan. I've talked about her in another video where I discussed the sim economy, and Yukachan is like, Yukachan is making her money. Yukachan is not messing around. She's absolutely adorable. She was a rickshaw. This is it's a constant pattern. She was a rickshaw driver, so she would pull basically a carriage around in Japan, and foreigners really liked her. So they started making videos of her, and she just created her own channel, and now she's like, taking us on adventures and no more rickshaw. And I felt kind of sorry for her. She was pulling around a cart like a horse, and now here she is. She has 61,000 subscribers. She has her patron, and it's so insane. And she's learning English rapidly. She does challenges where she speaks English, or she'll like, cook food, prepare food, or eat different things, try different meals. There's one where she visited the Philippines. It is so incredible. It is so incredible. I find it interesting that she was able to go to the Philippines, but she's been working so hard on her English. So that is absolutely cool. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I've known so many Japanese people. I've had so many close Japanese friends in real life. So, I mean, it's just interesting her ability to just like pick up and go to another country and casually do that. But she has been working really, really hard on her English. So that's so impressive. And I love it. I really love like watching her videos. Like this, here we have her. Here we have her. and she's basically gonna cook in this video. Like she bought like 100 barbecue, only using 100 yen shop items, so you can get some stuff really cheap in Japan. Isn't she adorable? And she's basically, I guess, in the park, and this is so cool. So she picked up like a bunch of very simple things, and she's going to cook using very cheap items. And there we go. So she starts that up. I tell you, I remember when I was young and we used to do things like this. Life is so sad and miserable as an adult. Like everything, all the happiness has been ripped from our lives. All the happiness has been ripped from our lives. I tell you, it is such a miserable. It's such a miserable thing. This reminds me somewhat of my youth as a kid. You know, I don't want to be in Western society anymore. I want to leave America. I don't ever want to see this country ever again. Just having a bit of peace. I tell you, like this, you kind of look back and you yearn for simpler times in life. You yearn for the times when you just didn't see how ugly the world absolutely was. I see comments from guys though, like who said they've gone to other countries and they've made it work. Like, listen, if you want to be single for the rest of your life, be single, and no one can blame you for being single for the rest of your life. But at the same time, you should have also the right to say, hey, maybe I want to try again. Maybe I want to go overseas and try again. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to get married, although that's your choice. But maybe I might find someone overseas and have a relationship. This is one of the reasons why MGTOW is so hard, because with that community, it's basically separatism, and it's like, it's basically feminists created MGTOW because of their terrible attitudes, their terrible behavior. They created MGTOW. They created a group of men who now just want to have nothing to do with relationships or society, and they want to separate themselves. And when men do this, the fall of Rome. That's how the Roman Empire collapsed. Men became separatists. They stopped dating. They stopped having dating. They stopped having relationships. They became hikikomoris, and they would be forced out of their homes and forced to run in the streets during the winter to punish them. They were not allowed to go to the Colosseum and watch the gladiators fight. They couldn't go to any other public outing. So basically, they couldn't watch wrestling. They couldn't go to the movies. No video games for you. Nothing. And despite the fact they were called the worst, they were called worse than all the criminals of the Roman Empire. Because I've said this before, I'll say it again. A society, a country without its men is not a country. It's not a society. It is a wasteland. Okay. Women are the gatekeepers of physical intimacy, but men are the gatekeepers of the relationship. There is no relationship without the man. There is no society without men. Men are the gatekeepers of prosperity. Okay, you will not have prosperity within a society without men. Women have been going on these women's marches where they all take off for the day and march in Washington, and everything just continues marching on without them. Nothing gets missed. But if men were to ever try the exact same thing, one, they could end up getting fired or threatened with being fired. How dare you take off to do something like this? It would be called misogyny, and it'd basically be prep before the it would basically be prep before the apocalypse. Guys, can you imagine if all the men said, yeah, we're gonna go march. We're gonna go march for today, all right? Okay, we're gonna have a bigger million man march. It's gonna be everyone this time. All right. Listen, you could deal with it yourself. Imagine all the cops, the first responders, the doctors, surgeons. Imagine all of these people said, like, yeah, we're gonna take the day off. The pilots, guys, it would the hell on earth that we would witness. And the thing is, of course, Gen Z would be out here like, yeah, baby, we're gonna have fun right now. I'm gonna hit up CVS first. I'm gonna clean up real well there. I'm gonna go to Walmart because there's no one to stop us. All right. Get myself a PlayStation 5. I'm PlayStation 4. I enjoy PlayStation 4, but if I mean a free PlayStation 5 is still a free PlayStation 5. This is Gen Z. Gen Z would be literally be out there in the streets very, very quickly. They'd be out there running around out there in the streets, trying to get theirs, all right? Because they're like, no one's here to stop us. No one's here to stop us. They're a bunch of bums. They're a bunch of bums. So, those bums would basically be robbing and stealing from everyone. Look how cute Yukachan is. This is why I love Yukachan. All right, guys, I'm gonna link you to Yukachan. I'm going to link you to Yukachan. If I was like a YouTuber like that was out there in the streets, not in the streets, but like out there, like I honestly would like collaborate with Yukachan. Like she is so curious, so cute. Come here, Yuka. Come here, Yuka-chan. She is so adorable. She is so adorable. You know, like this is the simp economy is going overseas. All right, can you imagine how many simps she has? And her sim count is only going to grow. Her sim count is only going to grow. These women in Western society, sims can't afford them anymore. The typical simp cannot afford these women anymore. And your money goes a lot further with Yuka. Your money goes a lot further with the poi tai roti lady. All right? You get a better bang for your buck with these women. Okay? And these women overseas, they want these men. Guys, what do you think regarding all of this? The simp economy is moving overseas. All right? The simp economy is moving overseas. You know, these women they never wanted us. They didn't want you. They wanted Chad, Tyrone, Ray, Pookie, Enrique, Miguel, Little Pancho, especially Little Pancho. They love Little Pancho. They love Little Pancho. Fat little belly, you know, relaxing with his tequila and carne asada and his chipped tooth. Look at him. Look how adorable he is. And of course, you know, it's not just Pancho. It's not just Pancho. Let's not forget about his brother Sancho. All right, it's like they're like Mario and Luigi. Look at that. Look at that. Is that there's Mario? There's Luigi. Banjo y Sancho. Hermanos. Guys, what do you think regarding all of this? I want to hear your thoughts on this. Let's talk about this in the comments. The SIP economy is moving overseas. All right. So let's talk about all of this in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.